This is a hint for Lab 3 Activity 6. That's the high-low speed servo controller, and hopefully you've watched the video showing what's expected there. If you press the clockwise button, the servo should turn clockwise. If you press the counterclockwise button, it should turn counterclockwise. And if you press both buttons, it should change speed, so it goes from high speed to low speed mode. Now, supposing you're having trouble with this and you turn to this video for some hints. Here are a couple hints. First of all, it's obvious, or it should be obvious, that this activity is based on activity 4, in which if you press the clockwise button, it turns clockwise. If you press the counterclockwise button and not the clockwise button, it turns counterclockwise. If you press both, or if you don't press either, nothing happens. Okay? So the code for activity 4 is basically what we have here. If you press the clockwise button and you don't press the counterclockwise button, then you turn clockwise. If you press the counterclockwise button and you don't press the clockwise button, then you turn counterclockwise. Otherwise, you do nothing. Well, hopefully, it should be obvious to you that what you need to do in order to change speeds is to replace this else statement with else, something like else if both are pressed, and you're in high speed mode. And let's think about what that means. Now, you're going to have to have some way of indicating to the computer and to the servo that it's operating at high speed. Then what you want to do is you want to switch to low speed. Okay? And then else if both buttons are pressed and you're in low speed mode, then you want to switch to high speed. High speed. Okay, so that's the hint. How do you go about indicating high speed and low speed? That's for you to solve. There's one more thing I want to mention, and that is presumably you don't want this thing, if you're pressing down, holding down on the two buttons, you don't want it switching back and forth and switching back and forth. So one way of keeping it from doing that is, for example, if you're here and you're in high speed mode and you want to go to low speed mode. First of all, you switch to low speed mode, but then you want to do something like while both buttons are pressed. So while they continue to be pressed, you just want to sit there. So while both buttons pressed, and the way of just sitting there is with a while statement. You just have open parentheses, close parentheses. So you just sit there and you loop there until you let go of the buttons. Clearly you do the same thing here too. Okay? So those should be enough hints for you to make this thing work.